Hi there. On weekends, we do reruns so that yours truly can take a couple days off. Look for a fresh new episode on Monday. Meanwhile, please enjoy this episode for this day from a previous year. I thank you so much for your indulgence and loyalty, and have a great weekend. Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for August 18th. August 18th is the 230th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, 231st in leap years, with 135 days remaining to the end of the year. Today's word is predicament. Predicament is a noun that generally refers to a difficult, unpleasant, or embarrassing situation, or an unpleasant situation that is difficult to get out of. A quandary, a dilemma, a plight. For example, her spending led to quite the financial predicament. The word predicament comes to us from Latin, where it meant a state of being, condition, or situation. First known use of the word predicament is in the 1300s. Predicament. If you have a word you'd like us to explore in this Word of the Day section, drop it in the comments. We'll take a look at it. And with that, we've talked before about the differences and conflicts between folks of differing religious views, such as the English and European Reformations and Protestants versus Catholics. You had Henry VIII in England, who started the Church of England because the Pope wouldn't let him simply end his marriage and marry the next pretty face. There was then his angry daughter, who became the queen known as Bloody Mary because she executed so many people in her efforts to reverse the Reformation and abolish Protestantism. Apparently, Henry was a popular name in those days, and today we have a Henry who is sometimes known as Henry IV of France or Henry III of Navarre. No need to get them confused, though. Henry III of Navarre was born 6 years after Henry VIII of England died and became King of Navarre when he was 19. He will certainly have seen how awful the strife and division between Catholics and Protestants was. And so it is that on August 18th, 1572, in Paris, France, Huguenot King Henry III of Navarre, a Protestant, married Margaret of Valois, a Catholic, in hopes that this marriage could lead to reconciliation between Protestants and Catholics. How did this turn out then? Sadly, it was not a happy marriage. They lived separately most of the time, never produced any offspring. The marriage was annulled after 27 years, and he married Marie de' Medici the following year, with whom he had, I believe, 5 children, who went on to become a king, 2 queens, a duke, and a duchess. As to reconciliation between the differing religions, he did work to try to balance things out between Protestants and Catholics. I think on balance he was a decent leader and was a benefit to France. But some Catholics still saw him as a usurper, and some resented him a great deal, and he was ultimately assassinated by a Catholic zealot in 1610. Live and let live, people. French astronomer Pierre Janssen discovered helium on August 18, 1868. The 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution was ratified on August 18, 1920. This was the one that guaranteed women's suffrage, which means they can vote. This is the birthday of Rosalind Carter, born August 18, 1927. She, of course, was the wife of President Jimmy Carter, making her the 41st Lady of the United States. Today's song is Good Times by Chic, number 1 on August 18, 1979. Gathering inspiration from many sources, Good Times was written by Bernard Edwards and Nile Rodgers. Good Times is decidedly disco-flavored and ended up on Rolling Stone's list of the 500 greatest songs of all times, and is one of the most sampled tunes in music history. Good Times by Chic, number 1, August 18, 1979. Link in the description. And I think that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. Feel free to share this video with a link in your email, messaging, or social media. If you enjoy this series, you can check out the playlist that contains these videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. That description lives on YouTube, so for other platforms, I'll include a link to my blog page that is called No Really. And you can also find me on Rumble, BitChute, and Odyssey. All those links in that description. Alrighty, that's all I can think of right now. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Alrighty, back to work. I think we got it this time.